Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Is this the question you've been thinking about lately? Well, in today's video, I'm going to explain to you how what we are experiencing right now is historic. Bitcoin has officially flipped silver, and it's just a matter of time before it flips gold. And at that point, it's going to be a Bitcoin money grab, and you do not want to miss this. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you what is happening in the market right now and how it is still a good time for you to invest in Bitcoin. And then at the very end, I'm going to share some good investment opportunities, not financial advice, but these altcoins are very likely to run this bull run. So it could be a very good opportunity for you to grow your money exponentially. So without further ado, let us get started. So we're going to start off by checking out Bitcoin's price. Last night around midnight Bangkok time, we saw Bitcoin touch $93,193. This is unprecedented. This has never happened before. And frankly, if you've watched my previous videos, this is happening ahead of schedule or much faster than most people expected. So what does this tell us? It tells us that we are very likely, I'm going to call it, we are very likely looking at $100,000 Bitcoin very, very, very soon. It could happen this week. It is literally, as you can see on the chart, it is trying to break out, and it's unbelievable. Trump has only been in office slightly over a week, and it's already happening. So you guys, I'm so happy you're here. If you're here because this news is for you, this is to help you stay up to date with what's going on and to stay in the loop so that you know how to invest your money, where the good opportunities are coming from. I have a whole research team dedicated to bringing this information to you on a daily basis so that you can stay connected. So that said, if we take a look at what's happening on a macro crypto market level, so from like big picture, you would see that as of yesterday's end of business day, depending on where you are in the world, November 13th, there were significant inflows. And right now we're going to zoom in on Blackrock. But that's Blackrock that we're looking at here, like this first number. It's been unbelievable. It's just been pouring in every single day. And this is the biggest signal for us when we see institutions, very, very smart and old money, invest in Bitcoin at the numbers that we're seeing it happen, because it just tells us, it signals, it's a very strong signal. It tells us that even they believe right now is such a good time to buy Bitcoin. So if the rule of thumb is to follow those that know more than us, then this is a very, very bullish sign for you. So this would tell you, reason number one, you haven't missed the boat and it's still a good time to buy some Bitcoin. But to really hone in and zoom in on this point, this is Michael Saylor. So I bring you Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy. This is for you. Just take a listen.
The Bitcoin gold rush. It started in January of 2024 and it will run till about November of 2034. How many people know what happened in November of 2034? In November of 2034, 99% of all the Bitcoin will have been mined, and the last 1% comes out over the next 100 years. So for all practical purposes, the stock to flow ratio of Bitcoin is infinity in 2034. It becomes noise. At the beginning of the gold rush, no bank could custody Bitcoin, no institutional investor could buy Bitcoin, no Wall Street trading firm. When those spot ETFs were approved, that created a fire or an avalanche. The genie's out of the bottle. It doesn't matter who's elected president next. It doesn't matter who's the next head of the SEC. No politician's opinion, no banker opinion, no regulator opinion matters after that date. That kicked off the gold rush.
Let that all sink in. I would encourage you, I'll drop this link below. I'd encourage you to listen to this again and again and again. And in a few moments, I'm going to zoom in and break down all the reasons and the math behind why Bitcoin is so valuable. There isn't even enough for every single person on the planet. There's roughly about 8 billion of us there isn't even enough Bitcoin for everyone to own a whole Bitcoin. So think about that, right? Right now, if you're here, you're one of the top 1% pretty much of the world that even knows about Bitcoin and hopefully holds some Bitcoin. So if you think you've missed the boat, you haven't. As this tweet above says, we are in the digital gold rush. It started in January 2024 and it will run till 2034. This digital gold rush with Bitcoin, this presents to you the opportunity to retire your future generations. So you have not missed the boat, and I'm so happy if you're here because this is literally historic what we're living through right now. And then here you have it from Eric Balkunas, senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg. He said, I thought things were cooling off, but no. Blackrock, which is known as IBIT, that's their ticker, just saw $5 billion. That's today's news. This data over here is from the 13th. You see, November 13th. But what I'm reading to you is from today. So this is updated. This is like several hours after. It says BlackRock just saw $5 billion in volume today for the first time ever. Only 3 ETFs and 8 stocks saw more action today, up to $13 billion in 3 days this week. It appears seeing heightened volume too. It's the other institutional funds investing in Bitcoin also saw heightened or higher volume, but on a smaller scale, right? Like not as much. And then here it says FBTC or Fidelity's Bitcoin ETF institutional fund did 1 billion, its biggest day since March. Now keep in mind that the Bitcoin ETFs were just approved this year. So it hasn't even been 1 year since Bitcoin has been allowed to, like as we saw a moment ago in Michael Saylor's video, it's only been 1 year since Bitcoin was opened up legally on an institutional level to the whole world. So it's already seeing tremendous volume. We're going to look at a chart in a second, but first, another stat or fact for you is BlackRock or IBIT, as we saw a moment ago, their Bitcoin's ETF surpassed that of its gold ETF. Bitcoin already outperformed silver's ETFs, and now it's competing with gold. We're going to look at a chart in a second, so just hang tight. This is the chart I wanted to share with you. So what is in orange is Bitcoin, and then what's in yellow is gold. On the first chart, you see that gold is higher, right? That's all you really notice. Amazing. This is a tsunami coming, as I've said in previous videos, right? So here, let's read it first. It says ETF inflows for Bitcoin are literally off the chart since trading launch, which was earlier this year. I think was it March? And more than 10 times bigger than gold in 1 year. Look at this chart. What you see in orange is Bitcoin. What you see here, like the little guy, that's gold. So Bitcoin plays in a totally different league, as Andre says here. It's trading at 10 times bigger than gold was its first year. Just to give you an idea of scale, this is a tsunami coming, guys. But that said, on the wise note, because I always try to explain this to you guys, CZ, or the CEO of Binance, he says he's just here to remind us, right, to like stay smart and to risk manage. He says, don't get greedy, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But it's so funny, this guy responds by saying, my thoughts on risk management are almost ready to drop. Stay tuned. Like they're just going all in, right? Because as I missed the beginning here, but it says Bitcoin, the new gold. Silver is now officially out. So Bitcoin just surpassed silver in market cap. 1.7 trillion versus 1.75 trillion. So price per Bitcoin right now is 88,000. Well, at the time of this tweet, it's been teetering between 88,000 to 92,000. So still a ways before it reaches gold, but it's happening fast. We know that Bitcoin already surpassed silver, as we said a moment ago, but now we see that it officially surpassed Meta or Facebook as well, and Saudi Aramco. So unbelievable. So this is gold, first place, right? Second place, Nvidia, no surprise. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and then Bitcoin moved up to number 7. So in less than a week, Bitcoin smashed 3 top stock positions. So maybe it's not number one yet, but it's happening very, very fast. And then here's just some some humor for you. This would be what is basically happening, right? Like, who's next? Now Bitcoin's coming after Alphabet. So it's happening, guys. And then here from Cointelegraph, we have Bitcoin's correlation with gold hits an 11th month low as gold drops 5%. So gold went down 5%. So maybe it sounds like some of that value is moving out of gold into Bitcoin. While Bitcoin sees substantial gains this week. So you see there's like a flippening happening, like a Bitcoin versus gold flippening. And then here from Caleb, he says, listen and pay attention. Okay, seriously, listen and pay attention. Let's take a look at these charts. So the top chart here is Bitcoin versus gold futures, and then the bottom is Bitcoin versus the S&P 500. And what do you see? You basically see an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which indicates to all of us that it's about to break out. That's what this signals, and that's what he says. This is not rocket science. It's not a trick question. It's just an extremely bullish setup. All right. So it's not just me here telling you like, oh, Bitcoin's about to explode. Oh, look at what Michael Saylor has to say. Or no, I mean, this data pretty much speaks for itself. So on all four fronts, we see it happening. So you're definitely still in time to buy some Bitcoin. And then here we have it, as some validation as to why it's so important to hold some Bitcoin. Here from homie.eth, he says, Bitcoin is a perfect reserve asset. No logistics, no storage, right? Like there could be a war could break out and all you have to do is take your phone with you or take your cold storage, your ledger, and that's it. It's like this big. It's completely independent, right? No one can take it from you if you like hold it yourself. Fully transparent. So everyone can prove it and validate it, right? It's immutable. It has a finite supply. What's so powerful of Bitcoin is that there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. So it's only going to go up in value because the less there is of something, the more valuable it is. Clear token economics, right? No changes in rules. No one can change it. Very, very powerful. And then I feel like this should be up on like I almost want to put this on a t-shirt. But this is so dense, but so powerful. I'm so happy that this guy, Jesse Myers, wrote this. He says, this is a land grab. This is a gold rush. You don't have to participate, but your descendants will wish you had. Now, listen closely because this is so important. This is the second wave of the digital revolution, the digitization of value to complement the internet's digitization of information. It wasn't possible to own a slice of the internet itself, but it's possible with Bitcoin, the internet of value. But what's crucial to understand about this protocol of digital value is there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Eric, Big Fund, recently told me that this fact was what grabbed Saylor, Michael Saylor, the video I played for you a moment ago. This is what grabbed his attention after years of dismissing Bitcoin. Here's why. There are 8 billion people on the planet. That means there's only listen to this number, 0.0025 Bitcoin per person on the planet. But most of it is already accounted for. Only 5.8% remains to be mined, 1.2 million Bitcoin. And of the already circulated supply, probably 16 million is held by believers with no intention to sell between here and 1 million. That means that 5 million Bitcoin is still up for grabs. And yet only 0.2% of the world's 900 trillion of capital has shifted into Bitcoin. That means that 1% of the world has 20% allocation into Bitcoin. But the remaining 99% of the world still has zero allocation. 1% of the world fighting over 16 million BTC or Bitcoin took us from $0 per Bitcoin to $90,000 per Bitcoin. How high will the price go as the remaining 99% of the world fights over 1/3 as much Bitcoin? It's only linear. That would mean 300 times higher. Meanwhile, Saylor's bullish prediction for 20 years from now is 49 million per Bitcoin. That's what Michael Saylor predicts, which would be more or less 544 times from what it is today. It feels like you're late to Bitcoin, but this is a bigger game playing out than most realize. And we are much earlier than casual observers know. If you're reading this, you're here on the frontier early, and you have a chance to stake a claim before 99% of the world shows up. This is a land grab. This is the digital gold rush. Make your descendants proud. And I love, love, love this chart because it really shows us the difference between the past, right? Where the protocol layer, the internet, it didn't allow anyone to own a piece of the internet. You couldn't own a piece of the internet, but everything was built on top of the internet. Amazon, Google, Netflix, Facebook, everything, right? On the other hand, what's happening today, or this is why we call it Web 3, the evolution of Web 2, is that the protocol layer is Bitcoin. And then the application layer, it explains Bitcoin, the currency, and Bitcoin, the network, are interconnected, and this is the protocol layer, and this is what allows you to own a piece of the internet of value that is Bitcoin, right? So when we say Bitcoin, we mean the network and we mean the currency because they're connected. And then there's what is built on top of it, which is like the different applications and companies built on top of Bitcoin, right? And then you would have something similar on Ethereum, but that's a different conversation, okay? And then here we have Miles saying that it's 61% chance that Bitcoin hits 100,000 in the next 17 days, according to Polymarket. I think it's happening much faster than we all expected, especially with yesterday's price surge up to $93,000. So I think we're looking at it much, much sooner. And remember, this is general market sentiment. Doesn't mean it's right, but it is right more often than not. So either way, it's very, very bullish, guys. And then here, as Lark Davis is saying, Bitcoin is also surging in searches on Google. This is powerful because this tells us that the general world, the rest of the world, is waking up, right? Because that means everyone is over here like hearing about Bitcoin and Googling, what is Bitcoin? And so that's why this is so powerful. And what this tells us is that the normal people, which I welcome to this channel, are coming, they're joining. And once they do, that's the new money or new liquidity that enters the crypto space that then eventually spills over into other altcoins and meme coins, et cetera, et cetera. And that's how this crazy phase of the bull run kicks off. So very, very powerful. That said, just a little piece of news for you. They arrested the CEO or the founder of Polymarkets. Crazy. They gave him no reason. But what we're thinking, right? Or like, this is what Sean Adams from Bankless podcast, super good, but very high level, but very, very good podcast, was saying, you know, it looks like it's retribution because Polymarket that this guy created predicted that Trump would win, right? So it's like they're angry and they're like exercising their power, which actually I don't want to call it, but now that we know that Donald Trump has officially nominated, and we're going to read this in a minute, now that we know he's officially commissioned Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, that was running for president as well, to run the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, super funny. We know that they're going to go after the deep state and they're going to be going after anything unnecessary or corrupt in the government. What I feel is happening here, my 2 cents, is that they know their time is coming to an end and they're trying to exercise their power as much as possible and clean up house as much as possible before they're out, right? So it's really sad. I don't like what they did. I think it's crazy and it's so undeserving, and it's just another example of how they go after anyone truly disruptive and innovative that rubs them the wrong way. So I hope he's okay. And I have a feeling that he's going to be released very, very soon now that Trump is president. But that said, segueing into meme coins and top how would I say this, investment opportunities that are very, very risky. So this is definitely not financial advice, but am I investing in these tokens? Yes, I am. Mainly because my experience and my knowledge has told me and shown me that the blue chip meme coins do skyrocket during the bull run. So it is a risk. It's not financial advice, but chances are very high that these tokens are going to fly this bull run. And what you do is that when it does fly, you don't get greedy. You let it rise, rise, rise. And somewhere around February, and maybe a little bit up along the way, and a little bit that you want to invest into other tokens you can pull out. But really, you're going to want to let the majority, at least 80% of what you invest in these meme coins, fly. And then around February or March, you are going to want to move a chunk of that value in small pieces so you don't crash the whole thing. In chunks, you're going to want to start putting it into Bitcoin, put it into Solana, put it into Ethereum, put it into Chainlink, put it into Based AI, Phantom, put it into really strong, into Ondo, put it into strong projects that are the future Microsofts and Facebook Meta and NVIDIA's of the world, right? Like that's when you need to shift your mentality to, okay, now how can I secure my investments for the long run? Because these meme coins are going to crash. They are eventually. A lot of them, some of them, we don't know, okay? I think DOGE is probably one of these tokens that will kind of like last forever, but it's not going to last at such an inflated like such an exorbitant price. It is going to adjust. So there is a money-making run that's starting to happen now. And this is what you do with this money, which is what I'm trying to explain to you, is you use that run, you use that money that you're gonna see happen. You're gonna watch the chart and you're gonna watch it fly. You're gonna wanna use that money to put into blue chips, okay? And then pay yourself also, like take some in USDT and, you know, invest in yourself as well, like your future company idea, your vision, you know, a car, a house, your family, stuff like that, right? It's very important to pay yourself as well. So anyway, that's what Crash is saying here. He's saying like, you know, the order, it's Doge, Shiba, Pepe, and then Brett is next. So he's pretty much calling Brett next. This is Brett's chart. Previously, you see this is Pepe's chart. You see how it's already pumping. So apparently Brett is up next. If you don't know the story of Brett or how things work in the crypto market, there's like major chains, right? Layer twos. And on each of these, there's going to be like a popular meme, right? And maybe you already know this, so just skip this if you already know it. But that's the way it works, right? And on base chain, the popular meme is Brett. But Brett is super genius and very clever and funny because it's part of the original Pepe coin and they're buddies. It's actually on a picture over here. See, they're best friends. And so if Pepe coin or Pepe pumps, then Brett is next. And if you actually go check out Kyle's channel, he made a whole, it's a different type of video. It's not this format of a video. It's like storytelling video that explains what is so powerful behind Pepe Coin and Brett and the whole crew and how it's the original meme. I'd encourage you to go watch it. Very good. But anyway, all of that to say that according to Crash, he speculates that Brett is up next. So this could be valuable information for you if you want to go check out Brett. And then here, this is from Miles again, but in this tweet and then the next few tweets explain why many believe that like the parabolic phase of this bull run is like, it's here, it's upon us, like it's happening now, because this is what has happened in the last week. Aside from Bitcoin surpassing silver, surpassing Meta, Facebook, surpassing the Saudi Aramco, this has also happened in the last week, okay? Binance listed Hippo, the meme coin, Bonk, Peanut, Act. Bybit listed Peanut, Goat, which is a good one, Fwog. Coinbase listed Pepe, and Robinhood listed Pepe as well. And there will be many, many more. So the reason I share this with you is because it's signaling to us, okay, like Bitcoin has been on the rise. Okay, now this is also happening. Okay, like all these meme coins were just officially listed in 1 week, which tells us that their managers and their listing officers and obviously their CEOs know the time is now because they have analysts. So they've done the homework for us. And now this is proof to us that they believe we are entering definitely the meme super cycle, but also the altcoin super cycle is coming. Like, remember in yesterday's video, I told you there's an overlap between Bitcoin surging and Ethereum, some of that Ethereum starting to pump, which has also been doing, and then some of that value rolling into altcoins. That's the order of events in which it happens. So it's happening, guys, is what I'm trying to tell you. And then next here from Zen, he says he thinks Bitcoin dominance tops here. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with this. I think Bitcoin has a ways to run. If you saw my 2 videos ago, then you know that typically Bitcoin runs for about a month on average. I don't know if it was last cycle or the previous cycle, it ran 6 weeks before it kind of found price discovery and just kind of like, like traded sideways, which is the foundation for the rest of the crypto market, if you haven't seen my past videos. So, but Zen here believes that this is very likely going to be the Bitcoin top. And he believes that when Bitcoin all-time high breaks and Doge pumps, and with and Pepe Coinbase listings, all critical pieces, this is what he's saying, all critical pieces of retail realizing that a crypto pump is happening. So he believes a huge inflow of fresh fiat, right, or like traditional currencies are entering the system looking for the next Bitcoin or the next Doge. And this is when the alt season, he calls it the mythical because it's sort of this like elusive thing we're all like dreaming of and like don't know if it's going to happen. But he says this is when it happens. So very, very powerful. So now that conclusion, right? So now that WIF has been listed on Coinbase, Doge is winning up to pump again, and Bonk is rumored to be listed on Robinhood. That's going to be huge. So they're all going to send high liquidity dog coins because dogs are in. It's dogs and cats. Those are the 2 most popular this bull run. And then as you would see here on CoinGecko, it's like dogs and cats. Dogecoin, Shiba, Dog with Hat, Bonk. I finally bought back into Bonk. And you're still in time to buy Bonk as well. Flowkey, Neuro, cat in a dog's world. And then here, this is the new one, Department of Government Efficiency Doge. This one's going to fly. Look at this chart. It's crazy. Look at that. Crazy. Look at that pump. And it's just getting started. And why is it just getting started? Because, as you can see on my screen, this is a statement from Donald Trump by Elon Musk explaining how he's pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk is working in conjunction with American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy to lead the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Together, these 2 wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy / excess regulation, cut wasteful expenditure, and restructure federal agencies, essential to Save America, to the Save America movement. This will send shockwaves through the system and anyone involved in government waste, which is a lot of people, stated Mr. Musk. So then if you read the rest of this, it explains what else is going to be happening. But this is why I believe, and this is the alpha I wanted to bring you. Maybe you've seen it on other channels or on Twitter, but I'm here to re-emphasize to you that Doge, the classical Doge, that's kind of expensive to invest in anyway. Doge, this one is very likely to run very, very high this bull run. And just keep in mind that there's 2. There's one on Ethereum and then there's one on Solana. So I bought both because they're both going to run, right? And they're just kind of like 2 different ecosystems. But this here we have Murad saying the same thing. It says Doge added 30 billion to its market cap in one day, not 1 million, 1 billion. This further confirms the meme coin super cycle. It basically means the new cycle cult memes will go ballistic next and outperform even more. So it means we're just getting started. This is why I have a chunk. Okay, like I have my safe blue chip, safe investments that are my long-term investments. I have those, and then I have a chunk that I am willing to risk more with. And I'm invested across all the blue chip meme coins, right? Which were listed a moment ago. If you go to, all you have to do is go to CoinMarketCap and search top meme coins, and you'll see all of them. I'm pretty much invested in like the top 10. And then yeah, you have here Kaito verifying the same. It's Elon Musk season. Today's top 3 mindshare gainers. Here you have Doge and Doge. So the new Doge is already competing. Like I think people may disagree, but I think there may be a flippening where the new Doge takes over the old Doge. But they may also just both rise at the same time. So who knows, guys? It'll be fun to see how things play out. And just to confirm, Doge, D.O.G.E, has an official account. So very, very exciting times. I hope you're excited. I hope you're ready. And that brings this video to an end. I hope you gained value. The main message I want you to take away from this is that you're not too late. Bitcoin is expensive, I know, but you need to own at least a piece. And then you can leverage that piece. Maybe this is the next video. You can go leverage the Bitcoin you have to buy more Bitcoin. Not financial advice, but it is something that you can do. Let me know if you want me to make a video on this. Anyway, I hope you're excited because we're making history. It's happening in real time, and I cannot wait to see how this bull run unfolds and to see all of you guys make as much money as possible. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave the questions in the comment section below. I make this content for you. I'm an educator at heart, and yes, you know, I'm in this bull run to make as much money as possible, but I'm also here to help you understand what's going on and not feel left behind. So it means a lot to me to have you here. So thank you. And I will see you guys here tomorrow. Ciao.